Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kind of neat, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt, blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see that car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you tap like a bitch. No, I ain't playing. I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass. It's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a box like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive pimp in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if a bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Keep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, it's pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap. Slap. Come get your face of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being
All right.
All right, I'm listening.
All right, step back here. All right, let's get away from the roadway.
Oh, now we're about safety. Okay.
We're always about safety, sir.
Okay.
That's why I stopped you, okay?
Yeah.
So listen to me. You're getting 2 citations today. One for following too close and one for due care. Let me
I don't
explain
really
what due
care.
care
Can
is.
I just get the tickets?
Let me
I
help
don't
you
need your cop-splaining.
Well,
I don't need to hear it.
Listen. Well, you're getting 2. Due care is like
I
a lesser
don't really
driving
care.
charge.
No,
Okay, well, you don't have to,
no,
but you're going to sit here and listen to me.
Sit here and listen to this. Read a sentence like I give a what he says.
Okay.
You could have just given
So
me
listen
these
to me.
tickets 5 minutes ago.
Okay, well, like I said, I asked you how you pronounced your last name, so I didn't butcher it. Okay? You're already getting
Then
2.
why didn't you bring me
You
a
already
ticket
get
up
2
here
tickets because I
when
wasn't
you
done
brought
with them.
my ID?
Okay.
You brought
Wasn't done
my
with
ID and my
Listen
registration
to me.
and
You're
everything
getting 2.
back up here.
You're getting 2.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm going to go to court.
Well, good.
That's great. You didn't write that car a ticket for not choosing the inside lane when they made a right turn, did you?
I wrote you one for following too close.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
because
it's
so
special.
you know the law better than me?
Apparently.
Okay.
I know I don't have to roll my...
Okay, y'all. I got a better understanding. The guy who he has outside of the vehicle right now in the reflective yellow, that was his dash cam that we were watching. I'm stupid, y'all. I thought it was the police officer's dash cam. So there is no question whether he made the wrong type of turn. No, he didn't make the wrong type of turn. He made the right turn. But the officer said he is following too close. How many of y'all are this close behind people in traffic? On the regular, that's more than enough distance for me. I think that's good for me. Now I understand technically by the law, is that too close? Some people will say yes. I know on the interstate doing 60 and 70, I would never be that close. I would be back a full car's length. But on city street, going less than 30 miles an hour, if they say that's too close and they can pull you over for that, I think that's one of those tickets. Yep, one of those tickets. That's one of those. That's just a reason to pull you over. Make a law just to give cops the reason to pull you over for anything, because that's dumb. That's dumb. But I'm glad I understand now. He does have a point. You didn't pull that guy over for coming from that turn lane and crossing all the way over when I was turning at the same time too. You chose to stop me to say I'm following too close when you're behind me. You're behind me and you're saying I'm following the person in front of me too close. That's a hard angle to see. But as of right now, he has him out the car and he's trying to invoke an argument when, once again, he still could have gotten this guy to sign these tickets. He's trying to talk down to him. And the guy keeps telling him he don't care. Why has this officer not handed over the tickets for the guy to sign? That's the question y'all should all keep in your head. But either way, though, let's see.
My window down.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
All right. Like I said, now you done got a whole storm out here, so listen to me.
About any.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
I'm still not listening. I just want my ticket.
Well, listen. Once I give you your citations, I tell you what, I got a firearm on my front seat. If you could run the serial on it.
Yeah, run that serial number.
Hey, listen.
Hey, shut up. I'm not f***ing talking to you.
I'm going to tell you like
Go
this.
do your
job.
Go do your job.
Now you're going to jail. Disorderly conduct.
Okay.
You in the public.
Where do you see the f***ing
Don't
public,
move.
you stupid bitch?
So here we go. We got one officer who just refuses to hand this man his tickets, orders him out the vehicle, told him to roll his window down, tell me your last name, get out of the vehicle. No, you're going to listen to me. You're going to listen to me. Back up, step it up. You're going to listen to me. Waits till backup gets there. Obviously, he called a hothead. This young fellow right here called him. And I guess his feelings is hurt because he wants to turn around and tell this citizen what he can and can't do. And he told him to go do your fucking job. Go do your fucking job. He wants you to run my serial number to extend my traffic stop. He didn't stop me for a gun, but you want me to go run it. Go do your fucking job then. See, no. Now you can turn around and put your hands behind your back because that's disorderly. You're not going to tell me what the fuck to do. Okay?
Don't move.
All right,
Continue
then.
to move. You're gonna go to jail. Even more. That's it.
I'm going to jail even
Yes.
more.
More
I'm going to
charges.
jail
More
even
charges. We're not gonna play your shit.
You got a tow slip?
No, I don't.
I have a tow book in my car.
You're in the view of the public.
Shut up! I'm not even talking to you.
All right.
What's going on?
Stop this. All right. So I'm sitting right there coming off 127. I got one coming off of 127 right there, right? He's in front of me. As soon as light turns green, he fucking floors it. I mean, he absolutely floors it, right? Like, what the hell, dude? Well, when he floors it, he runs right up on the car in front of his ass. I about hit him. All right, so I get behind him, running stuff or whatever. Well, as soon as I light him up, he makes, an immediate wham, jerks it way right. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Get him stopped, get up to the car, immediate attitude. As soon as I get up to the car, I was like, is there a problem? He's like, no, do you have a problem? I'm like, dude, what the hell? And he's been an ass the whole time. I tried to be respectful to him, came back up here and asked him how to pronounce his last name. And I can't remember exactly what he said. He started showing his ass even more then.
Okay.
So,
Screaming in the view of the public, you got a nice disorder. You got anything on you?
Now, I want y'all to understand. They're trying to take him to jail for saying disorderly conduct. Screaming, cussing, being vulgar in the view of the public. This officer is just sitting on the side talking about he's showing his ass, he's showing his ass, he's showing his ass, he's showing his ass in the view of the public. Has any other cop decided to tell him to turn and put his hands behind his back? Not one, y'all. You ain't seen one. But they're going to take this guy in for saying, do your fucking job. Ass and fuck, the last time I checked, are two curse words. So I guess it depends on who's wearing the uniform when they say it and whose feelings get hurt when that word is uttered in their presence. Because they're on a busy street. You can tell they're like a downtown, uptown area. Cars are coming left and right, intersections and intersections. And you got this man in handcuffs right now because he said fuck. Interesting. We got Miss Jackson up in the building. Shout out to her. She said, good evening, waiting on the link. Oh, yeah, I got it coming. For y'all. I was going to get at least halfway through this before I drop it because I want to just get everybody's opinion when we get halfway through. But as of right now, y'all see, the guy's in handcuffs. He's already had his gun taken from him. He's already had his knife taken from him. And the dude already said, yeah, you got a tow slip. So they're getting ready to tow his vehicle for him uttering the words, fuck, outside. Now, for all my freedom of speech people, where are you right now when you need it? There's people, oh Lord, just where are my freedom of speech people? But either way, though, let's see how this goes.
You
Shut up.
got anything on you? Okay.
Y'all want to be super douches, or can my wife come in the car?
No, getting towed.
I'm getting back. I don't give
I don't care. Get in the car.
You don't want to put me in the car?
If you don't want to get in there, I will. Enjoy your ride.
Don't lose that truck key.
Up. Don't know where it's at. Say that shit.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give him his damn citations anyway.
You got a camera on?
He doesn't let me finish my damn spiel. So we can take him back there and he can try to sign them.
Another charge. You want to sign your tickets?
I was willing to sign my tickets 10 minutes ago.
Well, you're not going to be out here screaming and yelling. You're not going to be
I'm not
cursing and
out there.
screaming.
I'm right here.
You were right here in the view of the public. You're not going to be screaming, yelling, and cursing.
Oh,
Let's
so
go
now
ahead and
you're
sign your
taking it
tickets.
back? Oh, okay.
No, you're still going to jail. I'm just allowing you to sign your ticket.
Oh, I can't
That
just sign
forbid-
him at jail?
I mean, you could. I'm trying to be nice to you. Let you sign it.
I told this dumbass I'd sign him 20 minutes ago.
Once again, I go through the same spiel with everybody.
Let me get that zebra. Can I keep this?
No, you can't.
Where at?
Down there where the mark is. Court date's April 11th. 5 p.m. Decker City Court, which is at Decker City Hall. You have the option to satisfy them beforehand if you choose, but paying for them online in person, police department, or by mail. No, you don't. You mail them back.
All right, turn around.
Thank you.
Good right pen.
Oh, great
No,
pens.
zebras are my favorite.
Great pens.
It is a good right pen.
So they got this man back out of the vehicle to sign the tickets when he was sitting on the side of the road that entire time with an opportunity to have that man sign a ticket. He intentionally delayed that traffic stop so his partner would get there or his backup would get there so this would escalate because his feelings got hurt. I'm going to get him sign them ticket right now. He could have signed them tickets at the courthouse when he was at the jail. I don't know how big their town is. Sometimes the jail's at the courthouse, sometimes it's somewhere else. They're intentionally effing with this guy because this guy didn't bow down and kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, bitch. He didn't kiss it. He didn't kiss their boots. So now they want to give him 2 tickets, take him to jail, and tow his vehicle. If y'all heard him, he asked the question, can I get my wife to come get my vehicle? Nope, it's getting towed. And then slammed the door on him. But they have an issue with somebody being rude. He also cussed again, standing outside the vehicle. Are y'all going to add on another cursing in public charge? Another disorderly charge? Because he cussed again. That should be 2, right? Since you can go to jail for cursing in public, supposedly, as far as they believe. And the chief, the sergeant, whatever, whoever he was, he's trying to figure out what's going on. He's obviously not doing a good job of figuring out what's going on. He just heard what his officer said, and just like, he even had to remind him, make sure your body cam's on. All right, let's keep going because this stop isn't over with yet, y'all. It is not even over with yet. But the guy's going back in the back of the vehicle.
So which one of y'all's? What is it? Shut up. Which one of y'all's a sergeant? Any you are? And you're gonna let him arrest me for
It's called disorderly conduct.
foul language?
Listen. What's your name? What's your name?
Would you like me to read the?
Tristan is his name. I don't know how to pronounce his last
Tristan,
name.
I don't even know what's
You
going
had
on.
it right.
I don't even know what's going on here. Okay.
He's arresting me for cursing in the view of the public. Look at all this public that heard me.
There's people right
I've
there.
already
Right
been
there.
through this. It's still freedom of speech,
listen.
dumbass.
Not when you're screaming. Sit
Shut
in the
up.
car.
Listen, we're not going to discuss it out on the road. Okay.
Okay.
You want to talk? Have a seat. I'll talk with you. Okay.
Yeah, all right, for sure.
So you're gonna let him arrest me for using my freedom of speech because disorderly conduct means that it creates a disorderly atmosphere, not just the use of language itself. It's been fully defined in law.
I'm not arguing with you. I agree totally.
Okay, so you're still gonna let him arrest me then?
Again, Tristan, I wasn't here. I don't know what's going on. You're telling me. Hold on.
Now, I want y'all to see the tomfoolery right here. This is the sergeant, right? He already came up and asked his fellow cop what happened. Now, he's saying to this man, after this man explained what happened, he's like, you gonna let him arrest me for using my freedom of speech in public? His response is, I wasn't here. For all the people in America that do not understand how lazy and a piece of shit this officer is right now, including the people that he works with, if you weren't here, how about you do your job and investigate what happened? You heard what he said, go back to your officer and ask him again, what did he do to be in handcuffs? But you're not going to do it. You're going to back the blue. You're going to ride with the bullshit, even though you're in a position of power where you're supposed to regulate these little dumb fucks. But you're not going to do that. You're going to sit here and talk about, well, I wasn't here. So you're going to go along with some bullshit just because you weren't here. How about do your job and investigate? And that's why I tell you, they don't care about solving crimes. They don't care about protecting the public. If they really cared about solving a crime, they would hire investigators. If they really cared about keeping the public safe, they would hire lawyers. If they really wanted to enforce them laws, y'all, they'll put some lawyers out there. This is nothing but body boys coming out here to enforce whatever the hell they feel like. This is strong. This is just a security team. A security team that has the ability to go and collect extra revenue for the state and for your municipality. That's all it is. And got Hurricane in the building. He said, F the police. Yep, I'm right there with you, man. Because let's say that was a good sergeant. He's not even trying to figure out what happened. There's a man about to get his vehicle towed and is about to be heading to jail, and you don't want to investigate real quickly. Wouldn't take it that long to try to figure out, is he going to jail for a legit reason, or is he going to jail on some BS? Because you might possibly have an officer that's going to cost the city millions of dollars. But you heard what his answer was. I wasn't here. I wasn't here, so I ain't got nothing to do. Look, I wasn't here. Hey, I wasn't here. Wipe my hands of it. That's what we doing around here.
You're telling me that you foul language? Okay, which that's fine. Can you tell him? I can't tell anybody. I don't arrest anybody. If he made an arrest, all right. Okay, that's his arrest. Okay. I can't arrest anybody.
So he's gonna you're gonna allow him to cause a lawsuit over his hurt ego because I told him to shut up and go do his fucking job.
If that's the case, okay. If that's the case, that has hurt ego, whatever, then that's something that you have to deal with in court. Okay. I can't arrest anybody.
Is this a catch and release or?
You think these people care about the law? Do you think they care about the law? This is that same shit that you see in other aspects of life, other venues, other situations where, well, they're on my team. I know they're wrong. I don't care that they were wrong. I'll tell you that I wasn't here, but hey, look, this is what they decided to do. I can't do nothing about it. You don't even want to get to the bottom of it. You want to say, well, you'll just handle that in court. How about you stop that from happening right now if you're truly here to enforce the law? Because if one of your fellow officers, which you're their superior, is violating it, you might want to stop that from happening. But you want to say, I ain't arresting nobody. I wasn't here. Now, do y'all still think they care about the law? No, they back each other up no matter what.
Do I have to go into jail and be bailed out? Is this like a finger pointed and let out?
The only person you don't have to go in there and make bond unless the sheriff, I believe, is the only one that give you an ORO bond.
What? Initially? All right, so we cleared that stop on 120 or right there, more further, right? Up, came up to the red light right here.
Now I want y'all to listen very carefully, y'all. Listen very carefully. He's about to explain it to his superior now. Now name one thing that this man did that's arrest, like anything that warrants an arrest. I want you to hear it. He's about to explain it. Now we watched the whole video so far. Well, at least the interaction of them two. Let's see if he says anything that's arrest warranting. Let's see. And let's see if his superior goes along with it, because he's supposed to keep these little fuckers in check. And obviously he's not. So let's see. Let's see what he says. And let's see if anything's worthy of an arrest.
Bond.
What? Initially? All right, so we cleared that stop on 120 or right there, more further, right? Up, came up to the red light right here. He's in front of me or whatever. As soon as the light turned green, he floored it. Yeah. I mean, he took off. Fucking floored it, took off. I'm like, okay, get behind him. When he got behind the car that he got behind that was in front of him, he about hit him. Okay, got his tag or whatever, run his tag. Well, he jerks it, I line him up. He jerks it immediately, jerks it right. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you driving like that? So I stop him, get him stopped here, whatever, get up to the window. As soon as I get up to the window, I'm like, is there a problem? He's like, no, do you have a problem? I'm like, his window was only down about that much. So go back up there to give him the stuff. When I went up there to ask him how to pronounce his last name, well, he's still showing his ass. So I come back, finish my stuff, go up there to get him to sign his ticket. His window's still cracked. I'm like, roll your window all the way down. He's like, no, I don't have to. I'm like, roll it down or I'm going to make you roll it down. He's like, I'd like to see you try or whatever he said. I'm like, all right, fine. That's when I called y'all. Because I know he's going to show his ass at that point.
Well, he
So how did he? So here you go. A lot of questions right here. So how did he end up outside of the vehicle? You never told him to get outside the vehicle. How did you end up with his gun in your vehicle? How did you end up with his knife in your vehicle? You know. That's why I just called y'all. You know, a lot of gaps in this story. Now, if you said that he floored it, which that it's your word versus his if he floored it. But we watched his body cam, we watched his dash cam on his Tesla, and it didn't look like he floored anything. But you know, your word against his. Once again, what was the arrestable offense? Because he's sitting in the back of a vehicle right now, supposedly going to jail, and y'all calling a tow truck company to come tow his vehicle. What did he do that warrants him going to jail? But let's keep watching, because they all right here listening to it. And I heard the guy with the beard talking about, oh, he's one of those. What do you mean one of those? A citizen that knows their rights? A citizen that knows it's not illegal to have an attitude? A citizen that knows it's not illegal to not roll your window all the way down? Every time you give him a lawful order, he obeyed it. You told him to get out of the vehicle. He lawfully has to get out. He's required by law to get out of the vehicle. He got out. And he declared that he had a weapon for you. Didn't have to do none of that. But he's one of those guys. Okay.
Wants me to make you unarrest him. We don't unarrest anybody.
Once you're done, you're done, boss. Yeah.
So
Officer Chambers appears to
Or he doesn't even care about never hearing one thing that was an arrestable offense. Y'all notice that the guy never even said anything about him cursing in his little story. And the one that arrested him wasn't the one that stopped him. The one that stopped him just gave his story. Ask the guy that actually put the handcuffs on him and told him he's going to jail. Why are you putting him in handcuffs? Why are you going to jail? They don't care. They don't care one bit. And I told people for the longest, because the same people that they're doing it to right now, that same Caucasian gentleman, those were the same people that actually didn't care when they were doing it to black people. I'm not even going to talk about anybody else. I'm just going to focus on my people. They didn't give a fuck when they saw them doing it to us. They used to always say, and I still hear it to this day, don't have an attitude with the police. Shouldn't have had an attitude. Don't care one bit about the law. Just ready to find any little small reason to take the police officer's side, and the law doesn't even back it up. It's a feelings-based argument because they don't give a shit about you. But now they're doing it to them. I think it's hilarious. But guess what? I'll still stand here today and argue on their side that this shouldn't happen. Because it's bigger than just, I understand it's bigger than just me. If I had an issue with another group of people for whatever reason, I would understand that I wouldn't want the cops doing something to them, because if they start doing it to them, then they're going to think it's okay for them to do it to us, because we okayed it, then them doing it to them. Eventually it's just going to become the norm. I'm not dumb enough to fall into that trap, but a lot of them did. And now look what's happening to them. That you hurt somebody's feelings as an officer, and it's your own people doing it to you. It ain't nobody black in this situation. It's your own people doing it to you. But we'll still turn around and talk about us. Hurricane said facts. Yeah, you're right about that. It's some facts. But either way, though, no crime has been said that's been displayed, like conveyed to the superior officer. Let's see how it plays out.
to now indicate that he will lie on the police report, claiming that Tristan was told to stop, that cussing doesn't bother him, and another officer mentioned someone had their window down while driving past, which is what created the quote, public disturbance.
Like I said, I don't know. So just make sure whatever.
I'll write the report the right way. I mean,
I know, yeah, I know.
He's out here screaming and yelling. He was told to stop.
Well, I walked up, he was cussing and everything, so I didn't know what.
Yeah, I mean, you could cuss at me. That don't bother me.
People was rolling by with windows down.
This dude, the one that put him in handcuffs and told him he was going to jail, said, "I don't care if you cuss at me." He said he was out here screaming and yelling. I'm sorry, y'all. Just to be clear, because we're going back. Where we at right now? 1506. Yeah, we're going back. We're going back. He was out there screaming and yelling. Okay, let's listen to it.
Run the serial on it.
Yeah, run that serial number.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
I'm
shut
done.
up. I'm not f***ing talking to you.
I'm gonna tell you like
Go
this.
do
You're in
your
the
f***ing job.
Continue to yell in the
Your
turn around.
job.
Turn around.
Okay.
How you going?
Screaming and yelling. Screaming and yelling. All right? Screaming and yelling. That's screaming and yelling, y'all. I ain't got no problem if he cusses at me. I have no problem if he cusses at me. He can't gonna be out here screaming and yelling. Yeah, somebody had their window down. I know they heard it. Mediocre. Mediocre. Every last one of these people out here. Mediocre. I call it DEI. This is some DEI bullshit right here. Dumbasses on the police department. Costing citizens money and possibly done took a couple people's lives. Hired the worst of the worst. The dumbest of the dumbest. To violate citizens' rights. You need a dummy sometimes to do stupid shit.
I know, yeah, I
He's
know.
out here screaming and yelling. He was told to stop.
Well, I walked up, he was cussing
I never told him to stop.
and everything, so I didn't know what.
Yeah, I mean, you could cuss at me. That don't bother me.
People was rolling by.
That don't bother me.
But Tristan was never told to stop cussing. Regardless, Detchard's ordinance is titled Profanity, etc. It outlaws profane language near any public street open to use of the public, and doesn't mention volume or proximity to anyone else. And while it's likely that these men claim to be God-fearing patriots and defenders of the Constitution.
Hold on, before he go down there, I want to see that. I want to see that again. It says profanity, etc. No person shall use any profane, vulgar, or indecent language in or near any public street or other public place or in or around any place of business open to the use of the public in general. Written in 1993. How much y'all want to bet that they don't know that that's an unconstitutional law right there? That's an unconstitutional city ordinance. If that shit went to their state Supreme Court and you had legit judges that weren't over here about, I'm just picking the side of the officers no matter what, and they actually read the law, you think that shit would still be on the books? It wouldn't, y'all. They cannot infringe upon your freedom of speech, just like they shall not infringe upon your right to bear arms. These things are listed in the Constitution. No person shall use any profane language. Yeah, well, your officers was out here saying he showed his ass. Is ass profane? Oh, it's not profane when I use it. Okay. That's what we got going on right here. That city ordinance is unconstitutional from the get-go, and they should know. They took an oath, not to the city's ordinances, not to the mayor's directives, but to the Constitution of the United States of America. And they are shitting on it right now. They're violating this man's rights, and they don't care. Don't care one fucking bit. And that's the sad part about it, y'all. That's the sad, sickening part about this entire situation.
It outlaws profane language near any public street open to use of the public, and doesn't mention volume or proximity to anyone else. And while it's likely that these men claim to be God-fearing patriots and defenders of the Constitution, they simultaneously enforce this obviously unconstitutional ordinance. But if we could, just for a moment, pretend that a federal court wouldn't strike this ordinance down in a heartbeat, wouldn't they be required to arrest each other?
As soon as light turns green, he fucking floors it. So he's going to show his ass at that point. He's still showing his ass. Now you done had a whole shitstorm out here. He runs right up on the car in front of his ass, about hit him. And he's been in the ass the whole time. As soon as the light turned green, he fucking floored it. I mean, like, fucking floored it, took off. I'm like, okay.
We're not going to play your shit.
And I can't remember exactly what he said. He started showing his ass even more then. Fucking play that shit. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you driving like that? He was being an ass the whole time. Oh, shit.
It seems clear.
I gave up counting after 7. All that cussing going on right now, but ain't nobody arresting each other. But you taking this guy to jail for cussing. No person shall, according to your city ordinance, no person shall use that in front near businesses in the presence of the public. He's sitting in the vehicle. You still cussing around him. He can hear you. He can hear you, but you're talking about a car that drove down the street. Talking about they had their window down, so they had to hear it. But he's sitting right there in the vehicle, not even 10 feet away from you. You don't think he heard that? Arrest yourself, sir. Arrest yourself. And you see why that's a dumb ordinance and it's unconstitutional. They can't regulate your speech in that form. There are exceptions to every law, every constitutional right, but that ain't one of them. That is not one of them. But you got this man in the back of a police car for something that you're actively doing right now in the operation of arresting him. That's crazy, y'all. I'm taking you to jail for stealing as I steal out of this store at the same time. That's pretty much what's going on right now. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy, but we got a lot of Americans that's for this. They're for this. They'll say he shouldn't have had an attitude. That's what they would chalk it up to. They'll dismiss everything else that happened and say he shouldn't have had an attitude. I know them. I know these people. It's crazy. It's sad.
That this arrest was a result of an officer retaliating for a perceived attitude and for hurting another's feelings. The arrest report was written by Officer Spar, who wrote several parts of the interaction that he wasn't present for out of order. He too wrote that the reason Tristan was arrested was because he was cursing as cars drove by, and while others were using the drive-through car wash. The next day, Tristan went to the police station to collect the items taken from him, but his keys, license, and registration were missing. While there, he met with the chief and assistant chief to file a complaint.
How you doing? Good. The investigator was down evidence. It was locked up, which we had to secure it in the evidence locker. Okay. So we need to get some out. He's gonna wait for you. Okay.
Is there like all of my stuff there, I'm assuming? Because he never gave me my registration, insurance. Should be registration, insurance, a knife, a gun.
Oh, there's not gonna go.
13 bullets, a magazine, and a Kenworth key.
I know they said the keys, they're not, and the gun. I don't know about the registration. We don't watch it, but in there. Okay. All thing we watch is when we watched the body cam video for the last night, and then I go back and watch it.
Okay. So did you watch the footage?
Me and the sister did, yes.
And y'all agree with what they did?
You were very out of hand.
I was out of hand, yes, but was I illegal?
You were disorderly conduct, yes.
Okay.
When you get that way in the view of the public.
But there was no public.
You're in the view of the public. You're in the public.
I fought this in court.
You walk out the door. You walk out again. When you go out the door of this PD, you're in the view of the public.
And so you agree that I have to roll my window all the way down? So that's the only reason I was pulled out of the car was because my window was only halfway down.
So we have to bring people along as we can. There's a principal law that gives us anybody that wants it.
Okay, but he had he first came up to my car with my license, registration, and insurance like he was going to give it back.
Okay.
Asked how to say my name, and I said, don't worry about it, please.
Okay.
And then he said, oh, okay, don't worry about it, please, and walked back to his car to write a ticket because I didn't want to cooperate. And then came back with the ticket. I asked him multiple times to let me sign the ticket, and he wouldn't let me. And then he asked me to get out. I got out, asked him if I could sign the ticket, and that's when the other cop decided to arrest me for telling him to go do his fucking job.
Well, like I said, if you want to.
Now, I got a question for everybody that's been watching tonight. Was his recollection of what happened pretty close to accurate? But we got Miss Jackson up in the building. Go ahead. What's up, girl? Tell the people where to find you. How you doing?
What up, fam? Just glad to be in the building this evening. You can find me at School for Justice, kicking off my little thing, slowly but surely it's rolling. I'm checking out, the narrative of the story tonight, and I see that this is in the state of Tennessee, I believe. And, this was all over a simple traffic ticket, and he's trying to sign the ticket. And, while he's speaking to one officer about what's going on and, what happened or why he feel he doesn't deserve the ticket, but he's going to go ahead and cooperate and sign it. Then a third party intervenes, basically, and he interrupts, and the guy's like, listen, man, I've been having a problem out of you all night. You've been rude. You are the one being rude. You're not reading me my rights or showing me anything in writing or the paperwork of what traffic laws that I have violated. I'm not talking to you. Just let me and the guy handle business. Let your coworker, handle his bit. Go over there and do your job. And this leads up to an arrest. So it's violation of his rights. And I think he threw a bogus disorderly conduct charge on him. So yeah, I'm just checking out, what's going on and what the end result's gonna be.
All right. And that's pretty much look. From what the man gave, he spelled out, and he's talking to these two super dummies right here, this police chief and the assistant police chief. They claim they watched this video, and they're taking the side of their officers. We watched the video, saw what happened, and yeah, you can't be like that out there. You can't be out like that. Okay. So we see from the top down why these officers think they can do what they want to do, because their police chief and their assistant police chief are dummies. They're dummies. You climbed all the way to chief and assistant police chief, and you telling me you don't know the Constitution? You should not be in your job. That's my honest opinion. You're defending what your officers did, saying this man was disorderly because he cursed in public view. When you watch the same video and watch your officers curse in public view multiple times, more times than he did, but they were right to arrest him. It's some kangaroo shit. Or what they call it, kangaroo court? Ain't that what they call that shit?
Oh yeah, all day.
Let's finish it out. I want to see how they finish this. But this is very disturbing.
Yeah, you have the right to speed everything in court. We have body cameras, things like that. And since you were arrested, body camera evidence will be turned over to the DA's office. And you can go that route.
And what about your cops thinking they're above the law and can speed? Is that okay also?
What do you mean?
When I took off in the back of that car, I asked him what the speed limit was through here because he was doing 47 up this road. I said, isn't the speed limit 35? He said, no, it's 30. And I was like, oh, you can be above the law and speed. He's like, well, I'm trying to get someone out of my car. Okay. That's okay?
I'm not saying that's okay, no. Any of the law like everybody else does.
I didn't think so.
So, but what's scared me?
I ain't gonna do nothing about it.
He's getting the property receipt.
Okay.
And can I get 2 complaint forms also?
Sure. Sure, yeah.
Okay. I mean, those go through you, so they're not going to go far, but at least it'll be on record.
Yep. Because I watched the video, he watched the video, and I promise you it's not going far.
I'm gonna write on there unfounded, put them in the file. That's where we're going.
We've already watched the
Who's gonna write on there unfounded? He don't even know what he's gonna complain about. He's assuming that the guy's gonna complain about the traffic stop and the 2 officers. Those complaint forms might be on them, but I'm gonna just write on it already ahead of time, unfounded. Don't even want to deal with it. This city's Deckard, Tennessee. This is your police chief and assistant chief, and you see how they're treating you and your fellow citizens.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering, where's the body cam? When they called for the sergeant to come on the scene, why he didn't request or demand the body cam to see exactly what happened in the pullover and the traffic stop? Like,
this is the next day. This is the very next day.
Okay.
He's coming to get his property right now. Like, he went down there to get his keys, his gun, his Kensington key, his registration, all that stuff. This is the very next day he's coming to get this.
Right.
So he hasn't had a chance to request it yet.
Right. Okay. But as the sergeant's position, once he was called on the scene and his response was, when he talked to the defendant, well, I wasn't there. I talked to the suspect. I wasn't there. Well, that's when you do your job, step up to your position, investigate, and pull those body cams. That's what you're there for.
You can't pull body cam on scene.
I'm saying the next day, you know, as the
They already
investigation.
looked at it. Yeah, they said they looked at it. They looked at the body cam. They said they watched it and they didn't see anything wrong. This is the chief and the assistant chief said they saw the body cam and they didn't see nothing wrong with it. So they're just blind.
All right, so it was, so they did view it. All right.
Yeah, that's what he said earlier. He said we both looked at it. We didn't see anything. That's why when he said, "Can I get 2 complaint forms?" It's like we both viewed it, so it ain't going nowhere. He was telling them from the get go, "You can file the complaint out, but we watched the video and we don't think anything happened, and I'm gonna just mark it as unfounded." That's the problem that I was just having. That's what I was just speaking on.
Gotcha.
They don't suppose they supposedly looked at it.
Right. They came up with their own scenario, their own conclusion. Yeah, I got it.
They all on team. I don't believe they looked at the goddamn thing. I think they just taking the word of their officers and just moving on. But the sergeant that did show up, I agree with you. He should have did some investigating. But his response to that, which I thought was egregious, well, I wasn't here. Well, go figure it the fuck out then. But instead of figuring it out, he's just going to take the side of the other officers also. And you see how this is trickling down. This is leadership at the top. If your leadership is corrupt, that corruption is going to trickle down all the way to the bottom. And a lot of people don't get that. They'd rather go for the people at the bottom and get them, but they won't ever touch the motherfucker at the top. And I'm like, why do you think this person at the bottom felt like it was okay to do this in this department? Because the people at the top ain't said nothing to them about it. They probably do the same shit. But you got to go to the top on everything. You got to go to the top. But he go either way though. Yeah, they have viewed it. The assistant chief and the chief have viewed the video, supposedly, and they don't see nothing wrong. They don't see a goddamn thing wrong. But obviously, he went and forwarded this video, so he got the body cam to show it. That's why we watching it right now. But either way though,
right now, if I was out there on the scene, you'd be going to jail the same way.
But you never like.
And that's no disrespect towards you, but I mean
that's no disrespect toward y'all. But I am a law-abiding citizen. I didn't yell. I was speaking kind of like we are now. If there was anybody at that car wash that you have to drive through in a car, public walking, they couldn't have even heard me. But cop number 2, whatever his name was, decided that when I told him to shut up and go do his job, or go do his fucking job, that I was arrested.
That's what I thought. I didn't do that either. Well, you would want somebody to come to your job and do your job either, would you? Probably not.
What people do all the time.
well, I mean, I'm sure you don't like it though, right?
I ignore them and do my job.
Okay.
I don't just take it out on them because I have a fancy badge and a gun and I can do what I
But
want.
I promise you that this job is not about a fancy gun and
so disregard what he said. He's trying to justify the cops' actions. Well, you wouldn't like it if somebody. It doesn't matter what the fuck you like. You're not the feelings police. People need to understand that. Well, you disrespect him. Is that against the law? Is that against the law?
Because they have to learn what the definition of disorderly conduct is. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically a threat, harassment to law enforcement, or even kind of a public causing danger or harm in a public environment. So you have to go by those codes and the chain of commands on the law to know what that charge even means. Freedom of speech is not a violation of disorderly conduct or committing a crime. So that's where we at. That's the issue. And just simply they're not fully using the evidence they have on hand, which is the body cam, to just get to the bottom of the situation.
And look, I'm actually going to put this up there when we get to I'm going to actually put up the definition of disorderly conduct. Varies a little bit from state to state, but the general definition for all of them, I'm going to put it up there so people know, because a lot of people have been taken to jail for disorderly conduct and they were not disorderly. Somebody's feelings got hurt. And I can speak personally to this. I was taken to jail for so-called.
Man, I got so many, I can't even count, man. To be straight up with you, it ain't even funny. And then, of course, authority is intimidated when you know your rights. So that's when they show enough want to slap the handcuffs on you. But yeah, it's ridiculous. They just make up, do what they want to do with the badge and make up things as they go.
Oh, yeah, because that's pretty much what happened to him. His feelings got hurt, and he just said, I'm going to throw something at you. And threw the easiest thing that would stick. The one thing they think could stick, because you don't have to really define it and argue it in court. unless you take it further. Public defenders don't care about arguing against that. They be like, man, look, just take it. We can move on. And that's usually how it goes. But here you go. Let's finish it out. Because they're doubling down on it. They said they would do the exact same thing if they were out there.
No, I believe me, I know.
Okay. You got people out here risking their lives to do it, and I have to put up with people with attitudes like yours, okay? So
They're gonna get a lot of it. So every time y'all see a car drive by flipping a cop off, probably, well, you know.
that's fine. So, I mean, that doesn't bother me at all.
They're not really your window either, but.
Okay, so each officer runs their truck and stuff. So if I'm not there on scene with them, I can't see exactly why that he wanted you to roll the window down all the way. Okay? If he wanted you to roll it down, he had a reason for it. Okay.
No.
All right.
What could it have been? My hands were here, and I said, "Can I have that ticket, please?"
That officer controls his truck. So he wants you to roll the window all the way
That
down.
officer needs a new job as a security guard at a mall. Is what that officer needs.
Well, I mean, if that's your opinion. Everybody has their own.
Dude, how are you going to sit here and defend that? Well, he wanted you to roll it down for a reason. Wait a minute. My shit was going out for a second. It's going to kick back in.
I was going to say, you froze up.
Yeah, it froze up for a second. My shit did that little fun thing. I had to take that shit off screen. But I'll bring it back up when we get done. This officer is sitting right there. This assistant police chief is talking about, well, he had a reason for telling you to roll it down. That's besides the point. Was that man legally obligated? He keeps trying to go to things to try to make it seem like the guy's in the wrong, the citizen's in the wrong. But at the end of the day, you are a law enforcement officer. So what law say he had to roll that window down? I don't give a fuck what your officer asked him to do. Was it a lawful command? And that's where he needs to focus his mind at, and not to, well, you pissed my officer off. If I was there, I would have did the same thing. If he told you to roll it down, there was a reason for it. That's irrelevant. All of that shit's irrelevant. What is the law? And people need to truly understand that when we start looking at these situations. What was the law? I don't care what feeling you garnered inside of your soul. If you're going to take this job, you have to put your feelings to the side and focus on what the law says. And that's a problem a lot of people won't. They won't put it to the side.
So was this when he asked him, for his license and registration and all, that he was saying he didn't roll the window down to give him his info?
No, when like you go back to the beginning of the video, he pulled him over. He came up there and asked him what was his problem. Like, does he have a problem, whatever. The guy gave him his license and registration after that little interaction. Then he went to the car for 2 minutes, walked back to the guy's car, and he went up there and asked him what his name was. And the guy said he didn't want to give it to him. So then he walked back to his police car, sat in there for 10 minutes writing 2 tickets up, then came back and he told him to roll his window down. And he had it. He was like, man, it's down low enough for you to give me the shit. No, roll it all the way down. He was like, I'm not rolling all the way down. He said, I'll roll it down for you. He said, dude said, I'd like to see you try.
Okay, so
told him to step out the vehicle.
Right. My question is, why would you ask him a question that you already have information on? You got the man's driver license, his registration, his insurance, and so forth. You already know his name. You already have. I mean, maybe you just want to verify to make sure that he was the owner or the driver. He's the owner of the car or whatnot. But basically, you already have that information on hand. You have his driver license. So
yeah, I said earlier, yeah.
Right. So I mean, that was just. It sounded like just a reason to initiate.
No, he's just fucking with him. He wants to show him he's boss.
Right.
Around here right now, it's just an intimidation tactic to show him who's in charge. I'm in charge. That's all. I said something about it earlier. I'm like, dude, you already ran all his information, man. You know who the fuck he is.
Right. He was just intentionally trying to initiate. You know what I'm saying? The problem when it wasn't, instead of just doing his job, giving the man a speeding ticket or a citation and sending him on his way.
Yeah, even when he got him outside the vehicle, he had him sitting outside the vehicle calling for backup and all that. If it was to get him to sign a ticket, you would have told him to go ahead and sign right here. No, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to talk to him and explain, like, look, you gonna listen to me. Like, dude, just give him the fucking ticket. He already asked you for it. You say, can I have my ticket, please? Give it to him.
Okay, so another question. What is the purpose of backup? There was he wasn't being hostile, he wasn't being violent. You know what I'm saying? No, you didn't run there was no warrant on him when you ran his name or anything of that to make an arrest. So what you calling backup for? You know, like you said, he just created a whole scene with, unnecessarily is what it looks like to me.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. To be honest with you, that's exactly what it is. But here, let him finish it out because we're gonna talk about the whole thing at the end.
Opinion, but he's here to say whether you like it or not. You can buy all the complaints you want to, but like I said, it's on the file. I'm going to put it unbounded. It's more than like you're saying the whole department is encrypted. If you not waste your time, I have it all on you.
I shall, at this court, to buddy with y'all, I'll just request that you go to a different court.
Okay, it's 2017.
That's completely unfounded, so.
As expected, the assistant chief stayed true to his word and sided with his officers.
Can I get 2 complaint forms also, sure? I mean, those go through you, so they're not gonna go far, but.
I'm gonna write on there unbounded, put them in file. That's where I go.
Adding that the allegation of Officer Sparr's speeding was unfounded because the body cam did not show the speedometer, though the letter acknowledges the conversation that Tristan alleges happened while being transported to the jail. Tristan fought the case for a year before the criminal charges were dropped by the DA, but the traffic citations were heard in a separate court, and he was found guilty, but has appealed the ruling, only to find out that the prosecutor that fought his appeal was the judge's father, and nothing wins a case as well as nepotism. Tristan has since filed a lawsuit against the department, and his trial is set for November 12th. And when there are updates on this case, you can find them here. So let me know what you think in the comments down below.
And we about to talk about it right now because it seems like we got a problem going on in whatever the fuck Tennessee that is. So go and give me your thoughts, Ms. Jackson, so far on this.
Yeah, man, he did the right thing and went to internal affairs to go ahead and address the issue. And
he ain't go to internal affairs.
What he did, he filed a lawsuit, right?
No, with a lawsuit, you don't go to internal affairs to file that. You just get a lawyer and they file it and they submit it to the police department. They pretty much submit it to the city. Internal affairs don't even get involved in that type of shit.
Well, he should have went to internal affairs because his rights were violated. Okay, then the lawsuit, come to find out they in cahoots together. Sounds like a small, hick-nick town in the country somewhere where the prosecutor, his daddy is the judge and all this and all that. So in the end, it looks like he's still fighting his case. You know what I'm saying? He still ain't got no justice. He still has to go on the charge was dropped, but and look, a whole year, look what all he had to go through. He went to jail. He had, spending money, bail money for a lawsuit, lawyers and so forth. I mean, what was the compensation? And then he still had to go face the traffic tickets. Just to, they threw that on him because, like I said, they are was family in cahoots together. That was the prosecutor's father as the judge. So, they already personally feeling some type of way because, you dare know your rights and push them to the limit to answer or be held accountable for their actions. So it's ridiculous, but I suggest and advise that this man needs to take this even further and go to internal affairs so these officers can be held accountable for violating his rights.
That's good. That's what he's gonna. Well, he's technically never gonna get that because they're not gonna fire him. Like you said, if it's a small town, they ain't got no internal affairs department. They ain't got one. They probably ain't got one. And if the police chief and the assistant chief are already down with it, you fighting a losing battle. It don't matter what internal affairs say because it always goes back to the chief or the assistant chief to review what the internal affairs found. And then they come to a conclusion whether they want to fire. They already told you to your face, like, bro, my police officers, I would have did the exact same thing if I was out there. Like, they let him know right now. And yeah, the corruption that you're talking about when it comes to the judge and the prosecutor being related, that's not the nepotism that they like to talk about. They like to talk about the nepotism of LeBron James getting his
Look like you're freezing up, man.
I froze again, y'all. I'm just gonna exit out of that. I'm just gonna exit
Yeah,
out
look
of that.
like you're freezing up.
Yeah, I froze up. This shit ain't funny. But nah, they don't want to talk about that type of nepotism. They rather talk about nepotism that don't mean a goddamn thing and you can't even prove it. But his only battle is like, and I think it's kind of messed up. You arrested him for disorderly conduct, fought it for a year, and the DA dismissed it. But you still want to try to hit him on the traffic ticket. And the sad part,
technically,
go ahead.
Technically, that's a conflict of interest where you have their relatives and family members on the benches, you know, from the judge to the prosecutor and so forth and so on. Technically, one of them should be in a different jurisdiction. So that's a conflict of interest. You know, something should be done about that as well.
Okay. Yeah, the judge or should be remiss from the case. Like one of them should dismiss themselves. You already know what it is, hurricane in the building. Let's see, man. Yeah, somebody shouldn't be allowed to be a part of the case. Somebody should recuse themselves from the case and move on about their business and let somebody else handle it. But that's not stuff that they care about. But I'm gonna get Hurricane in here because I know he was here from the beginning like you. Give me your thoughts real quick, Hurricane, and let them know where to find you at too.
Yep. You can find me at Hurricane JW, Hurricane JW2 on YouTube, and you can find me at Hurricane JW on Facebook, Hurricane JW6, and Hurricane.2029 on Instagram, and Hurricane JW, I think 3 on Rumble. But what I think about the police, they're slave catchers at night watching. They don't give a fuck about the law. They don't even know the law. Why is they trying to protect the law? They only protecting the properties of the elite. They ain't nothing but dogs that need to be put down. People of revolution. The only solution is revolution. Thank you.
And look, the sad part, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I'm actually cool with the guy. Like a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, he got his lawsuit in there. He got one charge dropped. Disorderly, which was bullshit. Anyways, wasn't gonna stick if they went in front of a jury. Because I always like, you know, when they ask people, do you want to have a jury trial or you want to have a judge ruled over trial? You notice that most citizens go for a jury trial, but when it's a cop, they try their best to request just a trial by judge. Have anybody ever noticed that?
Yeah, because like they all in cahoots. They like, yeah, I'm close with the judge. Yeah, nigga, that's my nigga. I went to his barbecue yesterday. Let's get him off.
Say we like this, son. We like this.
Yep.
But nah,
he was like, he going my daughter.
Yeah, no bullshit. But I'm gonna be on standby because I looked at the date for the trial, and I'm gonna be on standby because I know Lackluster is gonna cover that trial, or well, probably not cover the trial, but cover the results of that trial. And I'm gonna be on standby because this man should get some compensation, like you said, Miss Jackson, for what they did to him. They violated his constitutional rights. They violated it. And then there's a conspiracy going on inside of this department and inside of their court system because you got a son and a son prosecutor bringing cases in front of his father as if his father doesn't have any type of incentive to side with his son and the state. His son works for the state. He works for the state. And it happens to be my son. You got 3 double negatives going on right here with that one. But back to the guy, we all watch this. This is a case that shows you if you don't fight for your freedom of speech, you don't fight for your constitutional rights, these people will come out here and violate it. And other people will double down on it. Everybody should know you can say fuck, shit, ass, motherfucker, all that shit in public. You can yell it till the cows come home in public. And I'm going to pull up the definition of disorderly conduct. They just can't say because you used a word that they didn't like that you can go to jail for that. Because otherwise, that would lock up anybody. But guess what? Right now, guess what? We got so many people that got a problem with people standing on their rights that they did lock up anybody. They locked him up for saying fuck.
And you know what? Well, AJ, I was gonna say I'm glad that it's brought to full surface and see it coming exposed that, you know, they do this to their own people. And if they don't give a damn about their own, how much more they gonna do it to us? You know, that's the reason why we got them trying to kill us. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing brothers, losing our people every day just for being who they are, walking down the street, minding their business. Case after case after case, from George Floyd to Trayvon Martin and Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on and on and on. So I would like to salute you for addressing and bringing to the full surface and to the light that they do this to their own people as well. You know, folks fail to realize that it's not just us. They do it to their own folks, white people as well. It's not being as exposed. When it come down to us, they blast us all on, you know, social media and the news and the public, and it, you know, turns into the publicity. But with their own kind, it's more hush hush. So I'm just glad that, you know what I'm saying, it's being addressed in full circle.
Yeah, like, and I said this a while back. When I cover these videos, I don't even like covering videos where the cops doing black people wrong. I'd rather just have discussions about that type of stuff, because people seem to believe the greater society, the majority society seems to believe that these cops are out here doing a great job. I'm like, okay, you think so? Okay, let me show them doing it to your folks. Because I know in the back of your mind and your subconscious, you truly don't believe they doing fucked up shit. And if they is doing some fucked up shit, they doing it to them blacks and they had it coming. You know, that fuck around and find out shit. They always on that shit until it happen to them. So I'm like, I would love to show, I try my best to go out of my way to show them these videos, because I'm like, dude, they've had a track record and they've built up a routine of doing it to people that look like us. So eventually, it's got to trickle down to you, buddy. You don't understand that if you allow a motherfucker to break the law to fuck somebody else up, that's why that's why they saying the shit about Trump right now. It's like, so y'all, they don't get why the Democrats are fighting so hard to try to get this guy that got deported back to America. It's because even Trump said out of his own mouth, yeah, I would deport American citizens. So you're deporting somebody that was legally here, well, not legally here, but had a protection to be here. It wasn't a legal immigrant, but had a protection to be here, to another country. And then you double down and say that you would deport Americans. They don't understand.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, I think he's freezing up. And he's been freezing up off and on. He got a little internet signal problems.
Yep, I blame the Adjustment Bureau for that.
That shit keep fucking freezing, y'all. It keep fucking freezing. But people don't understand. Today you might be on the side that's on your side, but tomorrow you might be on the opposite side of it. And if you allow that shit to happen to them, motherfucker, they can do it to you, because you already set a precedent that it was okay when they did it to the other folks. That's why they always say, when you don't speak up for your neighbor, when they come for your neighbor and you sit there silent,
what gonna speak for me?
Yeah, you gonna say something to you. People don't understand. They don't understand these little stories and these little nursery rhymes and shit. They were all to teach us a lesson growing up, and people just gloss past them like they were nothing. Like these analogies, these metaphors, they were said for a reason. But let me read this real quick before I goddamn fucking freeze up, because I need to get this shit off the screen, because that's why I was lagging. Disorderly conduct, just so y'all can see, and this is just a general definition, the AI generated general definition for across the board. Disorderly conduct refers to behavior that disrupts public peace, order, or safety. It's a common crime in many jurisdictions, often used as a catch-all term for disruptive or unruly conduct. This type of offense usually involves some public element or impact and is typically a misdemeanor. So y'all see where it says disrupting the peace, order, or safety. Now we all watched that video with that guy on there. Did he do anywhere close to any of those three?
That man was do his car, mind his own business.
Right. That ain't right.
Hold on, hey, Hurricane, you said it, and you said it, and you about to goddamn get it. Where we at?
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
Shit ain't right. Like,
that's right.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up. I'm gonna keep bringing these topics up, man, because I thought that was just egregious. And that, like, for real, that's me coming from a place of, like, because I know some people get on here and be like, oh, he hate white people. So, bitch, I don't hate y'all motherfuckers. I just can't stand y'all ignorant ass motherfuckers who don't think nothing bad ever happens and y'all people ever do anything wrong. That's why I said those were mediocre white cops. All of them. The bottom of the fucking barrel. If I was in a group of people, I would not want them representing my community. The same way I'll sit over here and talk about the Sexy Reds, the Cardi B's, and all these other motherfucking rappers that be out here. They are not a representation of my community. And we need to stop letting these motherfuckers put them up on a pedestal. But people want to see that. They put that out there, and that's the image that they have of us. Well, guess what? This is the image y'all got of y'all, and this is the average. That's these mediocre motherfuckers who swore an oath to the Constitution and don't know it. Right. I knew more about the Constitution in the military. These motherfuckers in the homeland and don't know the Constitution. Like, how do you not know what the fuck you swore an oath to?
I'm just here to lock up niggas and shoot them. They need to lock us up and shoot them.
Well, the sad thing about it is, man, America has always been hypocrisy. You know, she is the greatest hypocrite of all, and they don't care. You know, they know the Constitution. They know their rights. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. You know, the rules don't apply to them as they believe in their own mind that they have that authority, that badge to do what they want to do to the next man out of their feelings, out of their emotions, and it doesn't apply to them. So that's the root to the problem that it all boils down to.
Take it even further. I ain't even gonna say the root of the problem is that the cops think they can do whatever they want and the rules don't apply to them. I think the root of the problem is that they have their fellow Americans that look just like them. They'll double down on when they break the law. Because I believe people in power can only do what the hell we allow them to do. Like the government, they talk about the government's fucked up. Then stop fucking allowing the government to fuck you over. But we keep on allowing these bitches to do the same shit. And they talk, I mean, it's the American public, man. Because even when these people that work for the government, they take their uniform off and go out into the world too. We got too many people that are okay with this. We have a lot of lay down boys and a lot of lay down girls in this country. Because if you show this to somebody that's pro-cop 24/7, they'll sit right there and be like, he ain't have to be rude to the cop. That's what they would come back to you and say.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say a damn word about the cop violating this guy's constitutional rights. But they claim they patriots and they for the country. They will sit there and watch that and come up with every goddamn excuse for why that guy got treated the way he got treated. And we know from experience, because that's what they do to us every time we do anything. Every time it's a high profile case. In every case that where a white cop or somebody kills a black dude, they're going to make it high profile because they like to feed the race war type shit. But they make every goddamn excuse for these police officers, no matter what.
Well, facts, because facts. We got the power. We're taxpayer. You know what I'm saying? We're the taxpayers. This is where our hard work and money is going to. So, and we know that it's power and unity. The government knows it. They know it. And so until, it's kind of like back in the day when we get together and do the Million Man March and so forth and speak up and stand up and fight for our rights, ain't shit gonna change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But at the end of the day, our voice is our power. We have the power. We are the taxpayer, so we can make the change to our community.
I agree with you. And I had people that try to criticize me when I speak up on these type of things. It's like, all you doing is just sitting on YouTube talking about it. You need to be doing something else. I'm like, hey, bro, have you ever worked at a job? Everybody don't do the same fucking job, right? You got a boss, you got a CEO, you got a marketing team, you got a fucking cleanup team, you might have some drivers, you got some accountants, you got an HR department. Everybody got a fucking job to do. So don't ever let anybody come to you. If you one of the people that speak on it, you're doing your part in it. There's got to be people that will go out there and march. We got to have people that are going to be lawyers to go and fight it in court. We got to have all that across the board. But everybody has to do their part. Whatever you passionate about or whatever you good at, do that. Don't ever let nobody deter you from talking about these things, because at the end of the day, I go to bed and I sleep like a fucking baby every night, knowing that I spoke on some real shit and spoke on some shit that's true and right. Fuck all these hoe ass people that fucking to sit around and sit around. They'll go along with evil, because that's what I'll call it now. It ain't nothing but evil. It ain't no ignorance. It ain't no lack of understanding. It's just straight evil.
That's right, Jay. And exactly, it's called teamwork. It's called teamwork, and that's why it boils down to. And I always stand in my point of view. It's about character. Just like with on a political tip and during the election. It boils down to character, like you say. Who stands for right? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything in life. So what do you stand for? Who's standing up for justice? Who's standing up for equality? Who's standing up for what's right? What team or what side are you on? It all boils down to character.
Yeah. Who's helping the homeless? Who's helping the military vets that's being thrown away from the government? Who's helping the kids being trafficked? You're right. We need to stop this government and the cops and everything. People of revolution.
Man, look. The sad part, look. I remember when I first met Hurricane and he would come in and say Viva Revolution. I understood where he was coming from, but I can't get on that tip. But honestly,
but now I'm ready to fight these motherfuckers.
They get freezing up again, bro.
Hell yeah, the Adjustment Bureau working overtime.
They working overtime. I ain't got nothing running in this motherfucker, man. But nah, man.
Yo, if they wasn't gonna do it to you, they was gonna do it to me.
I swear for the Lord. But nah, I'm with you, Hurricane. Like, no bullshit. The only way you gonna fix this shit, you can't. Look, this is already a piece of shit house. When the house is fucked up, people don't come in and say, well, I know it's the foundation's fucked up. I know it's leaning a little bit to the side. We don't need to knock it all the way down. We just try to come in here and just do a little bit. Bitch, you got to knock that motherfucker down.
Right. Nigga, don't buy no kerosene heater. Buy the kerosene heater to heat up. Like, fuck it. I'm going to just keep it this way.
We got to look. This shit needs to be completely revamped, man. It needs to be completely revamped. It needs to be reconstructed because this shit, and Americans, they don't understand it's not working for them. I posted a video about an Asian dude.
I think he dropped out again.
Yeah.
God damn it, Carmen.
But go ahead and speak your thoughts if you got something on your mind, man. Just go ahead and speak your thoughts, Hurricane.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There you go. You back.
They trying to.
Jay, you still there? Oh,
yeah,
you got
I'm
it.
still
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll spit it out real quick. I'm gonna try to get it out real quick because I try not to talk fast on this bitch. But I got an Asian dude that's talking about the situation that's going on between the United States and China. They talking about how China is ripping us off, and I see so many motherfucking Americans, especially them people on the right, that's all like, yeah, they're ripping us off, yeah, they're ripping us off. If you really understood the true history of your country, you understand your country the one who fucked you over. They didn't want to pay you certain jobs. They sit your jobs overseas so they can make money and hide their money. And he called it out verbatim, word for word, everything they've done, and they'll still sit here and defend them. They stole your money and told you to be proud about it, and that's how dumb Americans are. We got a lot of dummies. And people need to wake up to that shit, man. You should never blame anybody at the bottom for your fucking problems. You need to blame the motherfuckers at the top because the sad part is this game is rigged. We got people blaming illegal immigrants. They're taking our jobs. How the fuck they taking your job? Who the fuck hiring them? No, we need to put a wall at the southern border to keep them out. We need to write tougher laws to keep them out. How about you do what's actually on the books right now? It is illegal to hire any illegal immigrant in America. Lock up the Americans hiring the bitches, and they wouldn't come. I'm not coming to your city and your state, either one of y'all's, if I ain't got a job waiting on me. Why the fuck would they travel across country and country to come here if they didn't know they had a job coming? Take away the incentive. But we so dumb in this country, we don't want to do that. We'll rather demonize the people at the bottom because they divided and they conquered our ass. We got too many dummies, and they did it on purpose. They make you think that they the fucking problem when they're the ones allowing it. Purdue Farms hire fucking thousands of illegals. They ain't locking up the CEO of Purdue Farms. All these construction companies hiring all these illegals. They ain't locking them up, but they'll come into their business and grab every illegal in there and say we're deporting them. Well, the dude's still gonna hire illegals, so it's gonna be some more illegals coming tomorrow. He knows it. I just go to Lowe's. They're gonna be out there. Senior, job, senior. Oh yeah, hop right in the truck. Let's go. They already know what they're gonna do. We don't care about fixing a fucking problem, man. We care about demonizing people at the bottom that ain't got no fucking power. But y'all give me y'all final thoughts before we get the hell up out of here, because this shit got me glitching like a bitch.
Yeah, shit. You already know what it is. Oh yeah, and the Bacon's Rebellion. Everybody look up the Bacon's Rebellion when they separate the blacks and whites and did all this motherfucker like the bench and shit, and look up the slave captors at Night Watch. You know, so I can understand where the police come from and and like why they doing all this shit still to this day. And you can catch me on Hurricane JW2 on YouTube and Viva La Revolution. The only solution is revolution.
With you on that shit. Miss Jackson, man, give me your thoughts and let them know where to find you at too. We gonna sign out of this bitch.
.com. All right. I am Kenique Jackson. You can check me out on YouTube. Going hard on police brutality, equality, justice, and fighting for our rights, knowing our rights, learning our rights, and exercising our power. So that's pretty much the niche or the MO of my show and my topic. Overall, I think the guy made the right choice. He did the best he could, and let us just continue to speak up for what's right. And, you know, that was a great point Jay made earlier. That is teamwork. Everybody does their part. What you have the ability to do, what you're gifted, talented to do, or the knowledge and passion that's in your heart. Do your part. Everybody has a different field to work, but it's team work all together. And if everybody does their part to be a light to this world, then we can grow and become a better place. Final thoughts of the night.
Hey, look,
message.
I like that.
Look,
y'all, look, y'all, we gonna be right back here again next Thursday covering this. I'm gonna get a panel together, and I want people to hear this so they can know it's coming up. I'm gonna get a panel together, and I'm going to discuss the Austin Metcalf situation. The white teen that was stabbed by the black kid. I'm gonna have an open discussion because I want to see where people's minds are at, and I just want to have that conversation on that. We're gonna have that probably next Friday, Lord's willing. I'm gonna say like Op said, Lord's willing. And if you down for it, you'll see the shit up early, and I'll actually have a link ready to go from the get-go. But I do want to discuss that because I think that's something that we really need. It'll be a real test to see if we can move forward in society. But when it pertains to this situation right here, y'all, man, look, first off, learn your rights, study up on your rights. And honestly, I'll tell you right now, study the Constitution first. Learn that first. Learn those rights because those supersede anything your city, state, municipality put in place. If they put in an ordinance that violates your constitutional rights trump that shit. Federal always trumps state. So you can just fight that shit all the way to the Supreme Court if it come down to it. You'll end up, hopefully, if it works the right way, you'll win that. But outside of that, in this situation with this guy, it was a prime example of a corrupt police department and a fucked up judicial system too in his area that colluded all together to try to hem him up for something that he was legally allowed to do. You can say fuck in public, y'all. You can say shit in public. Like, just think about all the times the cops are at football and basketball and baseball and soccer and WWE games. Right. They're out there. These people are all in public. They out there cussing their ass off. And you don't see people getting hemmed up. So we understood from this situation, a cop's ego seems to be a reason to trigger him. And if they get triggered, don't listen to the people that say, well, just be respectful to the cop and you won't have to worry about that. No, we need to go talk to the people that say, if that cop got his feelings hurt and he did that, he don't need to have a gun and a badge no more. Those are people you need to be talking to. We don't need these people running around here, man, because if you'll justify for him doing it, you'll justify for who knows what the fuck. And then they're going to end up doing that dumbass shit to your ass. And I hope you don't want that to happen. I know a lot of them don't want it to happen. It's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when that shit happen to you. But look, y'all, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Keep supporting around here, man. We trying to grow this shit, man. If you watched over on Let's Talk on Facebook, Let's Talk with JVJ on YouTube or the JVJ Network, man. Hit that like, subscribe, share, turn the notice on, make sure you click all. And man, look, shout it out, man, because we trying to do it. And I appreciate y'all. But we about to get the fuck out of here, and I'll catch y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.